everyone, so for today's video I thought I would talk a little bit about some of my new favourite beauty launches, because it just seems to be around this time of year that so many good things are released and brands bring out all these new kind of products, and there are actually so many this year that I'm really loving. So I thought I would kind of pick some of my favourites and talk a little bit about them today before it's even launched. So a few of these I'm not sure if they're out yet. I will leave all the dates and the links and everything you need to know in the description box, so have a look in there if you're interested in something. I'm pretty sure most of these things are out now though, so there's not too much that you have to wait for. I know that is the most frustrating thing when I talk about a product and you can't actually get your hands on it. So I'm going to start with the two things that I'm probably the most excited about, and they are two hair products from Ouai. Now, I don't know if you follow Jen Atkin. She's basically an incredible hairstylist. She does kind of the Kardashians' hair, mainly Chloe's, and Chloe's hair is just beautiful, and she's just so cool and talented, and she's really inspiring in what she does. I follow her on Snapchat and I highly recommend that you do so as well. So when I saw that she was bringing out hair products, and not just hair products but some of the coolest looking hair products out there, I was very into it. So I thought you were only going to be able to get hold of these in the US, but actually they're now stocked on Cult Beauty, which is amazing. And literally as soon as I got the email through, I just went and clicked and ordered everything that was in stock. I didn't get everything from the range, but so far these have been my favourites, and these are the Texturising spray and the Wave spray. And I'm kind of going for a more sort of laid back look with my hair at the moment. I've been letting it dry naturally and not really fussing too much about straightening it and blow drying it and curling it, and these two come in so handy for that. So the Wave spray I will just spray all over my hair when it's wet and basically let it dry with this product in it, and not really much else. I might put a bit of oil on the ends, but apart from that I'm just using this. You can also put this into dry hair as well. It kind of works a little bit like a salt spray, but it doesn't have any of that really crunchy kind of crispy texture, which is the main thing I hate about using salt sprays. And also the Texturising spray, this is actually very different to a lot of other texturising sprays that I'm used to using. So things like the Ouai Texturising spray, which can be very kind of heavy, slightly chalky, and they just feel like you're spraying a lot of product into your hair. They may work amazingly because the Ouai Texturising spray is one of my favourites, but actually this works in such a similar way, but it doesn't feel like there's any product on your hair at all. And it also has a little bit of hold as well, so it keeps that texture in your hair for a lot longer, and it stops it going kind of dry and limp and looking like there's just way too much product in it basically. So I'm really into this range. Love the packaging, love the products, also love the smell. The smell is kind of raved about quite a lot, and in fact Jen is actually bringing out a perfume of the smell of the hair products, which I wish more brands would do. It's such a good idea. So some of the makeup bits that I've been trying that are quite new include this one here. This is the L'Oreal Nude Magique Cushion Foundation. I think this is newer to the UK than it is to the US. I feel like it's been out there for quite a while, but it's only just launched in stores recently here. So this I think is the first drugstore cushion foundation, and if you're not kind of familiar with cushion foundations, they're basically something that's come all the way over from Korea and the kind of beauty markets out there, which are so big and have so many innovative products. So this is kind of like a little cushion with foundation soaked into it. Very interesting, and you feel as if you would not get a lot of product there, but it's a very thin, very liquidy formula. And these actually come with a little kind of soft sponge. They're kind of little flat sponges, and although they're designed to use with the product, I find actually a beauty blender works the best for me. I kind of just dab my beauty blender in there and then kind of press it all over my skin, and I actually really love the way this looks. It has a really beautiful formula in that it has a lot of coverage, and considering it's such a thin liquid, you wouldn't expect it to do that, but actually it makes your skin look very flawless, and it's also very buildable. So you can just put a tiny bit of this on and it's really super natural, looks like you're not really wearing any foundation, but it's so buildable and so workable that you can build it up to just an insane full coverage foundation. So versatile, and it's just such a cute little product. It's really good for traveling. I think I'd probably bring this along with me if I was going somewhere because it fits in your makeup bag so easily. So that I've been really enjoying, especially for kind of summery days when you just want a little bit of a dewy glow, but it's something that's going to last for quite a while. Next I have a little powder duo from Bare Minerals, and Bare Minerals have been really impressing me with their launches lately. I think they're bringing out liquid lipsticks in a few months time, and then this has just launched, which I'm really into. So basically this is a powder duo, and it has two baked powders in it. On one side is a matte powder and the other side is a glowy powder, and this is the thing that really makes me love this palette. With this you kind of have the choice of using either or kind of just tailoring it to how your skin works. So if you have combination skin, if you get really oily in certain places, you can use the matte on there, but then other parts get dry but you still need to set them with something, and then you can go for the glowy powder. It's just really nice to kind of mix and match these two, which is basically what I do. Both of these are so finely milled, so perfect if you don't like cakey looking powders, these are just not cakey at all, and just a little compact that I find really, really handy to have. So next is a new bronzer that has just launched from Marc Jacobs, and I mean, just look at the size of this thing, it's absolutely huge, and very fittingly this is called the Omega bronzer. A lot of brands do this in summer, they just release an absolutely huge compact with just a massive bronzer in it, and I really like that. I think this is probably tailored to be used on the body as well because it is so huge. A lot of the time I forget to bring mirrors with me when I'm doing my makeup on the go, if I'm traveling, and this is just all you really need to bring. It's basically the size of a large compact mirror, and the actual colour of this bronzer is beautiful. I have the shade 102 Tantric. I think it only comes in one shade, it may come in a couple, but this one for me is so perfect for my skin tone. It's a really warming bronzer, so it's got a lot of red in it, very kind of terracotta-y and super warming on your skin. So this has been giving me a lot of warmth, a lot of kind of extra glow that I don't really have at the moment. So I love this for summer, and I also have a brush that goes along with it, and it's just called the Bronze Brush from Marc Jacobs again, and this is a huge brush. So we have a huge compact and a huge brush as well. At first I thought this would just be way too big to have any control over, but actually I've really grown to love it. It's so soft, incredibly soft. I've never actually tried a Marc Jacobs brush before, but if this is the kind of standard that they are, I definitely want to. So two new skincare launches that I really wanted to talk about, both from some of my favourite skincare brands. The first one is from Chapman, and this is the Skinesis Liquid Facial Resurfacer. When it comes to exfoliating my skin, it's probably something that I don't do regularly at all. I really don't enjoy manual exfoliators, things that just kind of tear away at your skin. There's actually only one scrub that I really love, and that's from Oskia. So then there are also the kind of liquid chemical exfoliators, which personally I think are the best thing to use. They're so much less abrasive and they actually do so much more for your skin. But actually using quite a few, I found that my skin is very reactive to them, especially things with glycolic in them. I think my skin just does not like glycolic, and I was actually having this conversation with Susie, and I feel like we came to the same conclusion that glycolic is just a bit too harsh to be using on a regular basis to exfoliate our skin. So when I got this, I was kind of unsure about it, but I had a look at the ingredients, and actually the main exfoliating ingredient in this is lactic acid. And almost instantly from using this for the first time, I knew it was different. I knew my skin was really going to like it. It's got a very cooling feel to it. It's almost a little bit minty and fresh, but it doesn't tingle anything like the other chemical exfoliants I've used in the past. It just feels so nice to use, and it's also a little bit sticky and tacky. It feels like there's some moisture in there as well. So it's very comfortable. It felt very nice on my skin. So I used it for a few days and actually started to see a lot of the kind of pores across my cheeks were shrinking, and actually my skin just looked a lot more glowy. This is doing a really amazing job at keeping my skin exfoliated well enough to make my makeup go on better and just to give a bit of a glow, which I'm all for. So I'm really excited for this to be launching. I think if you've tried chemical exfoliants in the past and they haven't really worked for you, definitely give this a go because it's a lot different to anything I've tried and I've been really impressed with it. So I also have a new launch here from Sunday Riley, and when Sunday Riley launch new products, it's something to get very excited about, mainly because I love their skincare and everything that I've tried, but also they don't launch things very often. They have a very small product range. It gives me a lot more confidence that everything is very well researched. They're not just bringing out things here, there and everywhere, and actually everything that I've tried from them has lived up to that and just been amazing. So when I saw that this was coming out, I really wanted to try it. This is Tidal, and I actually had to wait for so long to get my hands on one of these because it just sold out. It was completely unavailable. So it's now back in stock again. I think they just had to make way more than expected because they didn't think it would sell out so quickly, and I've been enjoying this so much. It's very unlike any of the moisturisers that I actually use quite regularly. It's almost a little bit like a gel, and this is a hyaluronic acid based moisturiser. Hyaluronic acid is one of my favourite ingredients for hydration, so it's basically an amazing hyaluronic acid infused jelly, and it's so deeply moisturising for your skin. It's one of those products that sinks in so well that it doesn't leave anything on the surface layer, and sometimes I feel a little bit uncomfortable with those, especially having dry skin. I like to kind of feel my moisturiser working and feel that it's still there, but actually this one, although it sinks in and it's basically gone once you put it on, it still feels so comfortable. My skin just feels plumped and healthy and nourished, and this is actually also a brightening moisturiser, so again it's just supposed to boost and brighten your skin. And the great thing about using a gel moisturiser, especially in summer, is that it's just so cooling. It feels amazing to put on. And then the last new launch I have to show you today is actually a fragrance, and this is from YSL BC, and it's called Mon Paris. I'm actually also wearing a French whistle shirt today, so I'm feeling the Parisian theme. I'm not usually attracted to these sorts of fragrance, very kind of sweet and floral kind of scents. I'm usually into something way deeper and muskier, and definitely nothing that is pink. Usually pink fragrances are not the ones for me, but as soon as I smelt this, I was just kind of so into it. I wanted to spray it all over my body. It kind of combines floral and sweet with dark and musky, so everything that I usually love with things that I'm not used to trying, but actually it kind of gives it that edge that makes it so much more me. So a few of the notes of this include patchouli, which is where the kind of floral comes from, but it also has amber in it, and I really love all perfumes that have amber in it. So it's interesting to mix the two, and it makes for a really different and quite unique fragrance. Especially on me, I feel like the amber really comes out of this, but also the sweetness too. It's really, really sweet, but the sweet and the musky together is such an amazing combination. And I'm actually going to Paris next week, so I think I'm going to have to bring this one along with me. I think it would only be right to do so. So those are a few of the new launches that I've been really into recently. Let me know if you've tried any of these yet, or if you're really kind of excited about trying them when they launch. So that is it from me today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye!